Welcome to the Pneumatics Configuration Guide. We are going to add a static port mapping. Once you've logged into the Pneumatics UI, you will go to the System folder. You will then select the static port mapping menu item. Static port mapping allows you to reach a device that is behind the Pneumatics on a private IP address. For creating a static port mapping, you will need to enter the MAC address of the device that is behind the Pneumatics. For this example, we will use 001122334455. You will also need to add the private IP address of the device that you are going to reach with the static port mapping. For this example, we will use 10.1.0.10. You will need to specify the internal port that you will reach this device on. For our example, we will use port 80 for web management of the device. You will need to specify an external port that you will use to reach this device using the Pneumatics IP or DNS name. For this example, we will use 9080 as an external port. If you want to secure the static port mapping and only allow a specific IP address or a specific remote port to access this device through the Pneumatics, you can configure those. For this example, we will leave those blank. You will then need to determine which protocol to use for this static port mapping. Based on the drop-down menu, you can use either TCP or UDP for the protocol. Because we are using web traffic, HTTP, it is TCP, so we will select TCP from the drop-down menu. If you want to use access control list in the Pneumatics to limit the access to this static port mapping, you would check the box next to enable to protect with the source IP-based access control. For this example, we will not enable that. You then want to click on the Add button to add your static port mapping to the Pneumatics device. Once you have done that, you can see on the list that your static port mapping has added, and we have now added a static port mapping on the Pneumatics device.